Good morning and welcome. I started that one. I was like, "Good morning, Vietnam." Jeannie's back. I'm so happy she's back. I question the purpose of my life
Whatever.
while she was gone.
I was like, oh, and then he's being sarcastic. But I know he misses me because he calls. Like, we work together all day, and then we can't stop talking when we're not together. Right, babe?
Right, dear.
It's true, though. It's true. We're like on the phone all the time.
I'm like, "Why are you calling me?" And she's like, "I don't know." And I'm like, "Okay, I'm going to hang up." She's like, "Don't hang up. I just want to listen to you."
Sometimes I will.
And
I'll
I'm
be like,
like,
don't hang up. I was like, you don't even have to say anything. You can just sit there and breathe. And
then I'm like,
because I'll be, sometimes like somebody's got to go home and be with the dogs. So sometimes Patrick, I'll be like, you go home and I'll stay and work, and then I'll call him, and then I'll just pretend like we're in the same room hanging out, not even talking, but then we're just like, I know. Does that sound super silly? I know, it's super silly. Anyways, yes, that was a whirlwind 2 days. Drove there.
a whirlwind?
A whirlwind. Did I say
Not
world?
a whirlwind.
Yeah, whirlwind. So it was Patrick's teaching me English. English is my second language, even though it's not, but I speak as though it is. So, got there, and then Violet and I went out, and we had she took me to the wrong restaurant. She's like, where?
Well, it's the same restaurant, just a different. What are
is
you
that?
looking at?
What is that? Oh, I know what that is. That's for Leslie.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's same restaurant, but she took her to the wrong one.
Oh, do you want to see? Should I do a fashion check? Violet used
Fit
to.
check.
Is that what it's called? Fit check?
check.
So this is also Johnny. Do you like this? Woo! Patrick.
She's like, superstar.
I love this. Yeah. So, and okay, you know when you want to do a three-thread overlock? A three-thread overlock is a great finishing stitch. So I have this, which the sleeves are too long for me, but this is a three-thread overlock, and they just used it to finish the ends.
Thread too.
It's a heavier thread. I have a thread called Lana, which is like it's like too thick for your sewing machine, but perfect for your serger. And I keep going.
Can you use it in the needles of the serger, or it can only really be used in the loopers on the?
When you want to do heavier thread in the needles, you're going to use a top stitch needle, and you can go a little heavier, but I don't think you could do the Lana. I think
that's got to be.
It's too
for the
heavy.
Loopers.
That's why the loopers are so fantastic. But a 3-thread overlock is a great finishing stitch. That's the only time I ever use the 3-thread overlock.
They want to hear about your shopping.
Okay, so
so tell them about your sushi though.
The sushi was
that not
so
like
good.
The kids and I ended up at sushi
It was
because they wanted to go to the Post Malone Canes. They're like Post Malone lives in Salt Lake, and they wanted to take me to his Canes, which is pink. And we got there, and there was like, for those of you from Reno, the line at the Canes here was nothing
compared to that one.
Oh my God. We got there and I was like, guys, like we have stuff to do. Like it was a short trip and I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to do for the house and for them. And I was like, we don't have time. And then I'm like, is that Ito Sushi? Because we go to Ito downtown too.
In Salt Lake. Okay.
And we ended up you went to the other omakase too. Like there's an omakase attached to that one.
Okay. Did we go to that sushi place? Was that the one?
We went to one downtown, but it doesn't have the omakase.
It was so good.
But like it is, because of the omakase, the fish is, I don't know if CJ's watching. CJ called me from Vegas and was like, you guys know Vegas restaurants? And we sent her to our favorite sushi place where she was ordering the flaming orgasm instead of the screaming orgasm.
They have a dish and it's called the screaming orgasm. We were like, you gotta order the screaming orgasm.
Which is funny because I'm just imagining her be like, I want the flaming orgasm. And like the little Japanese lady being like, what?
You could figure it out though. It's not like they have.
She said they were looking at her like, what are you talking about?
So this restaurant anyways was fantastic, and so while we were there I was like, let's get bingsu, which I explained to you. It's that like shaved ice dish. So I just said bingsu near me, and there was a place. So Kai didn't go out to dinner with us because he was out. We call them his Korea friends. So they're a group of friends that he met when he was in Korea last summer, and they get together like once a week and they go out for dinner, and they go to a different place every time. They've never repeated their restaurant. So he wanted to go out with them, which I was excited about because I like it when he's, he does his own thing.
Were you like, my boy has friends?
So, but I texted him, I was like, hey, do you want to meet Mommy and Violet? We're going to get bingsu. You can bring your friends. I'll treat. And so they showed up, and so I got to meet all of his, you know how much fun it is meeting your kids' friends. And so we went and all had bingsu and taiyaki, which is the, are they always fish-shaped? They're always fish-shaped, right?
I mean, in Korea, they make them in like,
but they don't call those taiyaki.
Yeah, I know, but the walnuts are taiyaki. It's the same dough.
But they don't call it taiyaki.
Yeah.
I think taiyaki refers to just the ones that are they're
well,
like
that's
a pastry.
The Japanese word. They call them bungabang. They're bungabang in Korea.
Oh my God, Kai and I were doing Korean lessons on the way home, and then I'd be like, I've already forgotten. Like, my brain just doesn't work. So we got taiyaki too, and so it was super fun. And then the next day we got up. Kai once again didn't want to go because he stayed up until 2 a.m. But I took Violet and her roommate, and we went out and got breakfast together. And then Violet and I went to Sundance. We did go to the Sundance outlet, and can I tell you, it has changed a lot. Like that.
Well, but I think that's like a sign of the times.
It could be a sign of the times. Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about these industries, like there was COVID where the supply chain totally broke down and you couldn't get anything. And then everybody went, oh my God, it's a new reality. And they over-ordered. Which has hurt a lot of businesses. Or a lot of suppliers basically were like, if you want anything, you've got to buy 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
Because orders had gone through the roof. So they over-ordered. And I mean, I know shops that have closed or aren't going to make it, that are like going to close.
They're crushed
because they got crushed under the weight of being oversupplied. And I was just telling Jeannie, I was like, we were really fortunate because we kind of noticed the trend early and we bought big early. And then we noticed the trend early and then we stopped buying early.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think part of that is because we have such a broad viewership. Like a lot of it's thanks to you guys, and we appreciate that. But the world is a crazy place right at this existing moment. Like a lot of these companies are just digging out from being massively oversupplied and being caught in the chain of selling the product for what they bought it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We have some of that.
We've experienced that. And then as a result, they stopped buying. And now they're like, are we even going to be able to buy? Because I'm sure Sundance is in the same boat where, I mean, a lot of this stuff comes from China and Bangladesh and, these other countries. And a lot of those factories sent out notes going, we're shut down right now. We're not going to play this game because they've been crushed for the last 4 years. So now they're waiting to see what actually happens.
Yes. So we, so I mean, the whole, when I went to Sundance, I was like, wow, this looks so much different than what I'm used to, because I'm used to that
They had
place
products stacked
boxes.
on product,
I think
stacked
all
on
of
product.
their returns get sent there, and so even like it's like A1. You have boxes like lining
It's
the
even
walls.
worse than A1.
It's worse
like,
than
it's
A1.
like they're like literally like Jeannie would go for an hour and just search through boxes.
Yes. And so they didn't have any of that. It was probably, I'd say maybe a quarter, maybe so much less than that, because there was no boxes on the
Plus
maybe
your styles changed a little bit too.
But
like,
I'm just talking about the store and the inventory. It was like, I don't want to say sparse, but it was kind of sparse. Like it was not what it had been in the past. Don't worry, I still found things to get, and I haven't told Patrick about them yet. So
I saw the bag.
Yeah, no, you didn't see the real bag,
Oh,
which is little. It's like this big.
Oh, you
But
bought a lot of jewelry.
That's where the majority of my purchase went. And but it was fun because like Violet usually doesn't let me get her anything, and there were a couple of things that she really liked. Like I got her a pair of earrings, and I got her like a blanket. She's hard to buy for, and her birthday's coming up. I was like, this might be part of your birthday
Hard
present.
to buy for. She's going to Korea.
Okay, but all I'm saying is she's difficult to buy for. I was like, what do you want for your birthday? And she goes like this. She goes. Anyways, that means money.
She's
But
like Scrooge McDuck.
she is like Scrooge McDuck. She just, every penny she saves, and she doesn't, but she's fine with spending her mommy and daddy's money. So,
There may be more than one Sundance outlet, but that's definitely the biggest. That's where they're based.
I have never heard of another Sundance outlet. I think that's the only one.
There was a Sundance outlet in like.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. It's the
No,
only
but
one.
somebody on the live stream had commented that there was one. And like I want to say it was like one of the coastal outlet things on the East Coast.
Maybe there's something out there and I don't know about it, but it was still worth the visit. It was still worth the visit. It was still super fun, and Violet and I went there, and then I just went right back to Kai's place, and we just loaded up the well. I was like, can we go? What's taking so long? Like, that child is the pokiest child you will ever meet. Ever.
This is not true. But he is very particular and very methodical.
He wanted to admire, like, his bicycle. I go, can we do this at home? Like, can you look at your bicycle at home and admire it there? And then there needed to be a little smackdown on those children because as per their lease, they're responsible for the upkeep of the yard, which there is very little of, and it was bad. And the floor was bad.
The first landlord letter is going out.
Yeah.
Sometime this week.
My feet were sticking to the floor. I was like, why are my feet sticking to the kitchen floor? When's the last time you mopped? This is disgusting. And
now the cleaner is leaving. Kai's the one who does all that.
He is. And but sometimes I think he rebels because he's like, I'm not going to do it all the time. So I was like, my feet are sticking. Do you hear? I was like, Violet's like, oh, really? And I was like, do you hear this? And you can hear I put my foot down and then like lift up, and you could kind of hear it like release. So I don't know about you guys, but when I had my first apartment, we immediately put together a chore list.
They have never put together a chore list.
They said the chore list didn't work. I was like,
well, because
that's you.
three
That's
of them don't do it. So they're going to get a letter about
Kai's the only one
the
who's
three
like,
of them.
Yeah. The other one have a higher tolerance for like.
The other ones are all a bunch of slobs. I can say that about Violet. Violet knows she's a slob.
So, okay, let's talk about something that might matter to you. I am doing the sew along today, and I apologize for switching that up, but I just don't think I would have it I could do it all on Monday, but I really wanted that time set aside to be doing the Star Spangled Beauty stuff. And we're going to be doing the prep. I sent that video out. What you need for today, here's my handy dandy. Love these. These are the pouches that I'm using. And I use the other ones too, but I love these because they have like 2 compartments. This is an Amazon thing. We still haven't set up our Amazon store.
The Amazon store is set up.
Okay,
like,
then we need to
go
start
through
adding
and
stuff
start
to it.
adding stuff.
So, oh God, for a second I was like, I forgot my stuff. What we will be stitching out today, and this is for the wallflower quilt. And remember, you can join the wallflower quilt at any time. I know we're all the way up to May, but it's easy to catch up. This is like a very manageable project.
Bite-sized pieces.
Bite-sized pieces, and then and we still have kits. We still have, if you want an embellishment kit, I have 3 left. That's it. And then they're not making them anymore. So what I have is what I have.
No soup for you.
Yeah, no soup for you. And but these are the blocks we're going to be making, pinwheels. And I think you guys know I'm doing 2 quilts. One is with Miki Kim fabric, so I can do that in my videos, and the other one is with the Kimberbell wallflower quilts. So this is from Bloomberry. I think this is from Bloomberry. And you need to be set up to sew and embroider. Please have your machines in the same room or be using your combo machine. I'm going to be switching back and forth on the Avenir. Please do not have it in the other room because I'm not going to be catching you up. You need to have them set up next to each other. And so we will be doing the piecing in the hoop, and then we're going to be cutting, pressing, sewing it together, and then we'll bring it back to the embroidery, and then we will be doing the quilting. But they're super sweet, and I just like, you can kind of see the quilting on the back a little bit easier. See the little snail, and is that a butterfly? Butterfly, a mushroom. So piecing in the hoop, sew it together on the machine, back to the embroidery machine to do the quilting. What you should have is this. This is going to be the fabrics for the Kimberbell stuff. Okay, this is what you have in your kit. And you should have the batting piece too. I'm going to be doing it on muslin. So that is ready to go. After we do this, I set it up for 11. That gives us a full hour. We're already worked on getting it connected. So hopefully I will be right on time. You know how stressful it is, but hopefully we've got it down. You think we got it down?
What?
The setup?
Yeah.
We don't know for sure until we go live. But it's a Zoom. This is Zoom, and this is for the people that purchase Digital Dealer from us. But then I'm going to put it all, I will post it. And the pre-recorded video is always already up and already posted. So if you want to just do it with a pre-recorded video, you can do that. Any questions? Yeah, and are you, you know, I'm not marrying one just because they're pinwheels, but for the other ones, I always forget to mirror. Always ask me and remind me, because I want to mirror. If there's 2 blocks that are the same, I always want to mirror them because I think that's more interesting than the snail always heading to the right, like having one go to the right and one go to the left. So yeah, I always want a mirror image. Is the background quilting a separate? That is one of the best things about Wallflower, is that they include it, as far as I know, it's the only, other than like events where they will include background quilting, as far as these projects, the quilts, the bench pillows, they never include the background quilting. I'm your advocate. I'm always like, hey, it would be nice if you just included the background quilting for them. But it doesn't happen. So, background quilting is included for the Wallflower quilt. So you know, for the designs for the year.
So it's an amazing deal.
It's an amazing deal. And then you can always use your own fabrics, and it gives you something to look forward to each month, because it is a block of the month and you don't know what's coming up. I got my June. I haven't even had a chance to look at it yet, so I don't even know what June is. I'm in the same boat as you, but I will go and look at it and stitch it out before we meet. So, Yeah, I don't, because it's just the quilting. I don't know if it would have made much difference. And after I stitched it and looked at it, I was like, I did it wrong. But I did it right. I did it right. It was just like it looked wrong to me. So that's gonna happen at 11 is when, because I wanted to give myself a little extra time so we could set up and make sure everything looks right. And if you can't make it today, you'll get the recording of the video. Your letter said, your welcome letter said that we would be doing the classes would always be like the first or second Friday of each month, but sometimes it is a Thursday. I did bump this to a Monday and switch it back to a Friday. But usually it will be on the first or second Friday of each month. And then it might be, depending on like holidays and weekends and stuff, sometimes it will be like other days. But like I said, you'll always get the pre-recorded video. You'll get the invitation to the class, and then you'll get the recording afterwards. I think there's a lot there for you. It's Friday.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so I did have this. It's not up. Oh my goodness, this is cute. I didn't see it in action. If you did not get a Life is Short, Make It Sweet fabric kit and you wanted one so badly, I don't have one for you. I'm sorry. But we did make other ones with different fabric, and they are cute. I think you might love it even more. So those of you that got the other one, and I think we have fabric that we can make more of these, but they are not online yet because I haven't taken a picture. But these are going to be the next kits. Are these adorable? So this is that Hoffman fabric, one of the Hoffman fabrics that I got.
That's my favorite of the kits right there.
Oh my God, maybe I can make one for Patrick.
It'd be my most treasured possession.
Okay, so, and I couldn't decide about the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I couldn't decide about the applique fabrics. I was like, maybe that should be the ice cream. Maybe that should be the cupcake. So I was like, oh, it's just a little piece of fabric. Just cut it and put it in. And then I didn't have to decide, and you have some more options. So there's an extra piece of applique fabric so you can decide where it's going to go. And I will put that up. There's I want to say there were a handful of people, and I put your names down where I was like, I'll send you a picture and I'll save a kit. So I will send those out. But we just made, I think we made 12 of these, but we have more, we have fabric, so we can make quite a bit. We can make more. But these are going to be the kits, and there's no thread kit for this. Should I do a thread kit?
So
There's no thread kit. I'm just doing this. But there might be one if I get to it.
Chris asks, are there problems with the USB port on the Avenir? I've since 1.04, which was quite some time ago, we have not been hearing about problems with the USB port on the Avenir. That said, anytime I've seen that, the people that are coming in are bringing me USBs that have not been formatted. They are deleting and adding. And that causes issues on USBs, and that's true for every machine. The Avenir may be a little bit more sensitive to it, but I have not seen an issue since 1.05 or 1.06 with the USBs on the Avenir.
So pretty.
It's my favorite one.
It's so pretty. Okay, I'll put those up today. So, and I haven't even done my update yet.
It matches your skin.
It's so gorgeous. Okay, yes. What was I going to say about that?
I have never formatted a USB. How is that done? I think we've posted no fewer than maybe 800 videos about how to do that. So use the search function on YouTube. and there are numerous videos about not just from us, but on how to do that.
You literally put your USB in, you right click, you find it in
Well,
your...
but like it's different for Apple users versus like on an Apple you would hit Control and click on it and then hit format, and then you have multiple formats for Apple, one of which doesn't work. You want FAT32 or...
Oh my God, Margaret,
but
how
like,
have you updated your machine without formatting your USB? Because what you're doing is when you format it, you're wiping that USB. If you don't format it and you try to update, you're putting like whatever's on there on the brains of your machine.
So what happens with USBs is when you delete something, it doesn't actually delete it. It just removes it from the directory of the USB.
That's a better way of
and
explaining it.
And so like, and it's funny because my Windows 11 computer at this point, if people have been doing that, when I put the USB into the machine, Windows 11 is like, your USB is corrupt. Like it immediately tells me there's a problem with your USB and it asks me to repair it. And I think that's part of what's happening a lot of times with USB complaints is people are deleting stuff and just adding more stuff and adding more stuff. And then there's all this jumbled data on the USB. And quite frankly, the newer technology doesn't like it. My Windows 10 computer and earlier versions of Windows 11 would never tell me that there's a problem with the USB, but like now it immediately tells me this USB needs to be repaired. And that's just because there's so much crap on it. Apple's a little different. I don't think we've ever done a video with Apple, but literally
I haven't done one, so you're gonna have to look.
You click while hitting Control and it'll pop up, and you have to go into disk utilities. Like Apple makes it much more difficult. I'm not an Apple fan.
We've had apples though.
I have an Apple. We're on an Apple on the live stream.
And you love this Apple.
Well, it's an impressive piece of hardware. It's still a pain in the ass. Because nothing works except for Apple stuff. So it's just, you just sit and plan workarounds. But like if you're in an Apple environment and that's what you use and that's what you know, you need to learn how to use your disk utility to format your thumb drives. That's the other thing too, is it's not as easy as like drag and drop on Apple. A lot of times that just puts an image on it and then the machine won't read it. And so, like Michelle always says, like her advice to people with Apple is get like a cheap Windows computer because it just makes everything easier.
Is that us?
That's not us, I don't think.
Okay. So, we're going to get started because I want to make sure I'm on the live feed and I'm on there live.
So I have a question. Do you have a question?
Like the best question. I'm waiting for it. I want to be like,
it's my car.
Put it into my brain, but I can't think of what it is.
So I have a question, like based upon something that you said this morning, and it's regarding the A-1 Asia Exploration Fantastic, or whatever we're gonna call it.
Wow, that's an interesting name.
I don't know. I don't know what you call it. The Magical Mystery Tour. Yeah,
where we're gonna take you and be like, eat it.
Oh my goodness.
Try it. Yeah.
We're gonna open the doors to perception. I was
talking about like Patrick. I was just talking about the food.
Well, that like when you talk Magical Mystery Tour, that was like the Beatles.
That is not what I was
LSD
talking about.
phase.
I was like,
Miss
that
Jeannie.
might be like fish gut. That might be.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. So the biggest thing that we're trying to do is like figure out how to maximize our time and plan our time. But For those of you that would be interested in such a thing, or for those of you that are just watching and want to answer the question, how much time would you want spent directly related to like sewing and fabric and kind of things pertinent to this business versus sightseeing? Because as we're planning our trip for this summer, which is like kind of our pre-trip planning, Jeannie's like, I really think we should go to Mount Fuji, or we should go
Wait,
to...
are we doing Japan and Korea?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I didn't know we were doing both.
Remember we talked about the Japan
We were
part
talking about
being...
with my brother.
Right, but I'm saying like, so that's the question for the day.
And if you're not going
on the A-1 Magical Mystery Tour, how much time would you want spent like general sightseeing and exploration of culture versus things directly related to sewing, fabric, etc.?
What's the name? Yeah. Also ask, how long of a trip do you want to do?
Oh, I think it's 10 days.
10 days? Okay, don't answer that part. Just say,
10
oh,
days.
or maybe not even asking that. Just be like, what would you be interested?
Notice how she takes over. She's like, well,
that's a good springboard. But I think we should just say, what would you be interested in the tour? I saw you roll your eyes at me.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous question.
No, because maybe they want to do. Is
that
too broad?
That's way too broad.
Okay, forget it. Just answer his. How much sewing fabric?
Because what if they all say a bunch of stuff we don't want to do?
Yeah, but maybe they'll suggest something that we're like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. Or maybe they all are like, everyone wants to go to.
Everybody wants to go to the DMZ.
Everyone wants to go and get dressed up in a kimono and then spend the day. There's that one place where you can get dressed up in the kimono and then go to like the temple and stuff,
Asakusa.
which looks like so much fun. So
did we see any Westerners dressed up
yes,
like that? We did.
I mean, maybe you weren't paying attention, but I saw a ton of Westerners dressed up in
I could be
kimonos.
the guy standing there yelling cultural appropriation.
No, or he'll get dressed up as a samurai.
No, not gonna do that.
Why?
I don't know. Has there ever been an Irish samurai?
I'm going back to that store. So we were just talking because, we're going to go this summer with, it's Patrick, myself, and my two brothers. And we were talking about how we're going to go to Japan and spend some time there. And then I'm going to go. I am going.
You're going where?
The food. I'm a foodie. I am a foodie.
Well, yeah, it is all about the food.
For me. Well, the foodie and the shopping.
But that's one of the things to recognize is that food is a big part of the experience there.
And we're going to be like, try it. Eat it.
Eat it. Eat the crab eggs cooked in the crab shell.
All right. And if you are a pickier eater, they have everything. So don't worry about it. Are you ready? Let's get started for the day. So the question, can you rephrase the question?
I don't need to. It was good.
Whatever Patrick said.
It is.
And I'll see a bunch
how much time would you want to spend general tour versus directly related to
sewing fabric,
etc.
all of that stuff. 11. Don't forget, our sew along starts at 11 to give us a little extra time.
And what is the giveaway? Do we know what it is?
Oh, you know what? Graydon put these up. These are. You know what I'm learning? Order it if you love it, because I tried to order some fabric. I tried to order Super Bloom in another colorway, and I ordered it 4 months before it was even released, and I didn't get it. So, which was a little bit heartbreaking because I really love that other colorway too. It sold out before I got it. So if you see a fabric collection that you love, I would get it now. There's a new fabric collection out. It is called Wanderlust. It is beautiful. There's a gradient, which I ordered yardage of, and I'm feeling like I need to order more. But this is Wanderlust. There's one where this beautiful scene, and it goes from sky all the way down to like a flowery field. And it goes with this, but I did order layer cakes and I think jelly rolls. And layer cakes are 10-inch squares. And this is the 2.5-inch strips. I only ordered like I only ordered like 4 of each. So if you like this, get it. Not that you can't find it online from somebody else, and not that I can't order more, but this is, if you're looking for something fun, this is a great collection, and I will have some yardage of some of this spectacular stuff that goes along with it. So I wanted to show you that. And with that said, I don't have a giveaway. We're going to come up with something fantastic on Monday or Tuesday when we see you again. Have a great day. Be creative. Make something awesome. I'll be stitching like crazy this weekend, and I'll have show and tell for you next week. This weekend, I'm finishing that table runner, and then the fabric kits for that will be available next week. If we don't have enough, I will make something equally beautiful, so don't worry about it. We'll
So
have great
Delta,
stuff.
keep in mind, questions need to be answered in comments down below. Once the live stream ends, you have until Tuesday to
Yeah,
answer
so
the
not in the
questions.
chat window. We're going to end the live feed, and then you'll put it over in the